Welcome to Too Fond of Books. My name is Janelle, and this is another installment in my new series, Murder Mystery Mondays. Today, I want to introduce you to Inspector Jack Mosley, and the book that I have for you is Murder, Mr. Mosley by John Greenwood. Now, I promised that these recommendations would be backlist books, and this is definitely a backlist book. This is from 1983. It's the first in a series. It's a short series. There's maybe 6 books in the series, 6 or 7 in the series, and I really enjoy these books. They're like, I don't know, police procedurals, I think you would say, but they're lighthearted. I find them quite funny. And Inspector Jack Mosley is quite the character. So I will read first from the back of the book. After 17 years, Brenda Thwaites Cryer returns to Parsons Fold with a shadowy past and a shadowy fortune. Now she lay dead in Jackman's cottage, and the only possible witness, her invalid mother, is missing. For Inspector Jack Mosley, this case is a radical departure from locating missing turkeys or thwarting orange thieves. But HQ has no one else available. No one but whiz-kid Sergeant Beamish, whose task it becomes to keep a close eye on unpredictable Mosley. Yet how could Beamish fulfill his duty when Mosley dispatches him on ridiculous research missions from a Yorkshire castle to a prestigious law firm to a dentist in Ember Bay, only to discover Mosley poking about on the scene when he arrives? For Beamish, it is infuriating until these haphazard leads net important clues that help quietly ingenious Mosley bag his very first killer. So this is one of those series that has an interesting detective. So Mosley he's in his mid-50s. He's been a detective for years. But because of where he's located, he hasn't encountered a lot of murders, and he kind of has his own way of going about things that drive his superiors crazy. But he's fantastic, and he's just, I think he likes to be unassuming. He likes his superiors especially to underestimate him, possibly even the suspects that he is speaking with. He has diaries that he has filled up with information about the people on his patch, so he knows a lot, and that's what makes him a good detective. But yeah, he is unassuming, and people underestimate him, I think. Sergeant Beamish is hilarious because Sergeant Beamish is the new cop, and he's all about forensics and scientific testing and evidence. And so having him work with Mosley is hilarious. So this is a lighthearted read, but it's a good mystery. What happened to Brenda Cryer in that cottage, and where is her mother? And so yeah, it's a good mystery. It's a short, quick read if you want just kind of a lighthearted, fun mystery. Then I can recommend Murder, Mr. Mosley. I would recommend the rest of the series too if you can get a hold of them. It's just really entertaining. And I wanted to read from the beginning the first paragraph or so, just to give you a flavor of the book, and also kind of a flavor of Mosley himself as a character. "You are not contemplating," the Assistant Chief Constable said, "committing this to Mosley?" Detective Superintendent Grimshaw looked his master in the eye with a firmness meant to conceal the fact that he would rather have been looking almost anywhere else in the world. "Chief Inspector Marsters is tied up with managerial crime, the Hartley Mason business. We've leave and sickness problems. Williams is looking after 2 divisions, Stout's going off on a course, and it is Mosley's patch. But damn it, he couldn't even get to the scene of the crime. He'd been up all night, sir. An epidemic of poultry rustling over at Ketterlake. Grimshaw, it will take Mosley until the middle of next year. Oh, I don't know. He's good at talking to people, especially hill folk. He knows everybody. They all like him, even when he's clapping his horny old hand on their shoulders. And we've got one here that has its roots well and truly in Mosley soil. But have we ever let him loose within 30 miles of a murder before? Does he know that people sometimes kill each other? I'll grant you that when it comes to sheepdog nobbling, cockfighting, and breaking into village halls, oh yes, sir. In his 34 years in the force, Mosley has twice handled homicide. And in both cases, he pulled it off. Once was back in 1954 when a man stabbed his wife in a Saturday night domestic and rang through to tell us he'd done it. I admit that he also complained about how long it took Mosley to get there. And the second time, a junkie on a camping site over at Back Moorside. He was leaning over the corpse with a dripping sheath knife still in his hand, and a gang of youth hostelers cordoned him off and held him there as if they were photographing a still. Mosley spent 2 days satisfying himself that the chap wasn't being framed. That's what I like about Mosley. He's careful. And I'll keep a close eye on him, sir. It strikes me you'd better gouge out an optic and attach it somewhere about his person. And Grimshaw, give him an up-to-date sergeant, someone who's heard about fingerprints and things. Beamish, sir, on temporary transfer from Q Division. Beamish? What's the betting they'll both have resigned from the force before the case breaks? So there you have it. That's Murder Mr. Mosley. If you're curious, this is set in England. It's set kind of in Lancashire, Yorkshire area of England. And yeah, I recommend this. A nice, fun, lighthearted mystery for this edition of Murder Mystery Mondays. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comment section down below if you've met Inspector Jack Mosley before, or if this sounds intriguing to you. I love to chat with you guys in the comments below, and I will see you for another video soon. Bye.